morning, everyone, and thank you, Vishal, for this repeated course. Only thing is, timing is slightly early morning, so we have less crowd. But this course is very well designed because this is one of the commonest surgery we do. Uh, Thanks to the scientific committee. I'll be talking primarily of two things. One is VMT, and other is ERM. I'll not touch upon macular hole or other kind of membranes. This is the latest classification of all these interface disorders, VMA and VMT. And the reason I am showing this classification is this says macular hole small as 250 and large as 400, whereas we in our practice get holes of more than 1000 and 2000 also. So VMA is where vitreous is separated, but it remains adherent. This may be a normal phenomena also, maybe physiological also, but there is no pull. And since there is no pull, we do not interfere. Most of the patients do not have any complaints. But if there is a complaint, then you go inside, otherwise not. In contrast, VMT is again a interface disorder where the element of pull is there. You see, this is retina is getting tented up. If retina is getting tented up, remember the photoreceptor layer will get pulled up and you may have metamorphopsia. And if it persists for a long time, you may have decreased vision and CME also. You see, there is always a discrepancy between symptoms and the findings. Like this patient on the left side, you see, patient has scary VMT, but vision is very good. Patient is not aware also. This patient has some loss of vision because of this small sensory detachment here. So a lot of classifications have been given, which are I do not think so there is any much relevance of this classification. V shape, J shape, or focal or broad. Because once you go inside, I think you have to remove the entire sheet. The key question for us is, do all these membranes require intervention, surgical intervention? Because all surgeries, have to be taken with a pinch of salt. A lot of these patients have good vision and mild or occasional metamorphopsia and do not require treatment. Some of these patients may develop complete PVD spontaneously, and with resolution of sun. I'll show you one example of each. This is I showed you before. Right eye, we had operated macular hole, fortunately good vision. Left eye, routine OCT showed this, but this patient does not have any complaint, so don't make patients scary about this that you have to get surgery done. A lot of young colleagues today want to remove all the membranes, but I think we should hold our hands. This is one patient who was under follow-up. You see, there is a VMT here, there is a tenting of retina here, but in its natural course, this got separated, and patient has resolution of symptoms and near vision also came back. So management should only be done if patient actually begs for surgery. Begs for surgery means patient is disturbed in his day-to-day life with metamorphopsia. Remember, we are treating a human eye and not a OCT. Like this patient, very scary, VMT you see here, but vision is good, so don't touch. So basic aim is to remove this hyaloid, which a lot of videos have been shown by previous speaker. You see, we all are used to doing surgery, but this Jetria ocriplasmin, which is enzymatic vitreolysis, came long time back, more than a decade back, but it came with a bang and went away with a bang also, primarily because it does not work so well, and one injection is very expensive, multiple injections may be required. And there was a study where people compared ocriplasmin with vitrectomy. In eyes with underwent vitrectomy, there was a resolution of VMT 100%, whereas treated with Jetria, there was only 50% response rate. So VMT surgery is more definitive. MIVS, people are more confident of doing rather than depending on injection. And key step is after you do a core vitrectomy, you do a PVD induction. And PVD induction is generally best done by, although you can try doing without a triamcinolone, but I would still advocate a definitive last sheet to come. This is without the dye, and this is with the dye, with the triamcinolone. So here the end point is generally a formation of that signet ring from the disc. So keep pulling gradually, start with 200, if it is very thin, 250, 300, pull slightly, and once it gets separated from both disc and macula, then you can reduce the suction and do all the cutting. Results are generally good, but it takes time for the foveal contour to come back. It takes months and weeks actually. Although metamorphopsia goes away pretty fast, but contour takes time. This is a scary kind of VMT with sensory detachment also, and this patient is symptomatic with decreased vision also, and a lot of these patients have cataract, so you do combined kind of surgery in these patients. The only difference between the previous surgery and this surgery is that here we do a foveal sparing kind of pull, that you go round and round, start from nasal or temporal quadrant wherever you find a plane, and then leave this stump in between. What stump is shown, don't pull here, otherwise you may create a iatrogenic hole. And this is the result. You see with the air still inside. A lot of these patients may not require gas, may do well with only air. This patient has done pretty well. Another patient where we did PHF trimming only, what you call PHF trimming, that is foveal sparing hyaloid peel without any touch to the ILM also. This patient recovered from 360 to 6/16. Next thing is to talk about other membrane that is behind, that is upon the retina, therefore epiretinal membrane, epi means upon, retinal membrane, epiretinal membrane. On OCT, you can clearly distinguish on false color imaging that greenish color is hyaloid and reddish color, which is more cellular, therefore it is slightly reddish. Again, as in VMT, so is true for ERM. If patient has good vision, no complaint, I think these patients can be followed up also. Or if it's a globally adherent, very dense membrane with good vision, please don't touch. You see this patient has a globally adherent membrane. 6/9 vision, I will not go inside the eye. Indications again in TUs are disturbing metamorphopsia, decreased vision, or associated with macular hole or RD. So this was one video which done long time back. You see this, we normally tend to stain with trypan blue, and once hyaloid has been moved, then we stain with trypan blue and then identify the edge. Once the edge is there, and the best instrument to identify an edge according to me is a 25 gauge MVR blade, or you can use diamond assist scratcher. Diamond assist scratcher sometimes can cause damage also, therefore I am not very keen to use diamond assist. So this membrane generally comes in a single sheet like you see here. This is another patient who has dry ARMD, as you see a lot of macular colloids. So we begin this surgery with triamcinolone assisted hyaloid peel, and after hyaloid peel I normally do airflow exchange. Under the air I will inject 1 or 2 drops of trypan blue. So this is airflow exchange being done, then 1 or 2 drops of trypan blue are good enough. Wait for 3 to 4 minutes, and under the air remove this excess of trypan blue. This is under air only, and once this air is removed, then this is taken out, put on the fluid, and this is a nicely stained membrane. Background you have these colloid bodies, 25 gauge MVR blade. Once the edge is there, then slowly, gently, with eye on the retinal surface, be very careful that you don't create breaks. Peel this membrane in tangential direction. Never, the pull should be tangential, not anterior posterior. And again, this membrane generally come in a single sheet. Only in high myopes you may have vitreoscheisis, but most of these membranes come in a single sheet. Go round and round, and this is the post-op result, combined cataract surgery plus removal of this epiretinal membrane. This is one of the recent patients. You see even the color photograph you see here, and how dramatic improvement is there. The foveal contour has started to come back. Another patient, this was a very dense pucker actually. Another patient. Again, sometimes you may be required to do ARM trimming because I do not want to cause an iatrogenic hole there. So we'll. This is one patient who has all the components. He has epiretinal membrane, lamellar macular hole. He was disturbed with metamorphopsia also. We did actually what we call 4-in-1. We removed the cataract, we removed hyaloid, we removed epiretinal membrane, we removed ILM also. So all the 4 things got removed. This is first step. After core vitrectomy, put triamcinolone. Then hyaloid is out. Once hyaloid is out, airflow exchange, 1 drop of trypan blue. This trypan blue is different than as compared to cataract surgery. So this is coming out. Then you stain with the help of this dye. 25 gauge MVR blade. Again tangential traction. Very careful. This epiretinal membrane comes out. You see there's a big lamellar hole there, and once you are inside, try to remove the third, that is the ILM also. So this is the ERM removal finished. Now you inject the third dye, that is BBG, or the blue ICG we call that. You see this entire sheet of ILM gets nicely stained after the first membrane has come out, that is the epiretinal membrane. And then you can remove this sheet also entire. And then you can do airflow exchange and gas injection. So this is the poster result of the same patient where 4-in-1 surgery was done, but it took a couple of months actually. If you see from January to long time, thanks to the health of macula, this patient recovered good vision. This is a diabetic patient. I think this has been covered, but I'll just show one small step here, because this was a densely adherent epiretinal membrane. So sometimes you have to vertically incise with a sharp MVR blade, very sharp MVR blade, so that this gets cut. Once this gets cut, then you take a cutter 25 gauge and insinuate between them and cut. So sometimes you have to use a sharp MVR blade rather than a blunt MVR blade. So this was a recurrent ERM, and this patient, young boy, actually traumatic. So same steps, but only thing is again a sharp MVR blade to go just over the macula, because this is actually folded upon itself. Be very careful. Make a longitudinal dissection plane, so that once it is sufficient enough, then you pull this. But it was a very tight and taut kind of stuff, and it took some time. So such is the thickness of this big membrane here. So this was the post-op result of this patient, pre and post-op compared. ILM peel we try to do in all these patients, but do not insist at the cost of causing damage. Because global trends also show that it's not a must in all ERM surgeries. So thus to conclude, this is a very common surgery we do. Identify these three membranes, hyaloid, ERM and ILM, and there are three different dyes, triamcinolone, trypan blue and BBG. And this generally are very rewarding kind of surgeries. But remember, all of them don't require surgery. Surgery is not difficult. Finding a plane is the key step, and during surgery staining does help, and ILM peel is not a must. Results are pretty good. Metamorphosis improves visual acuity, and they may take time for improvement. So thank you very much for your kind attention and giving me this opportunity.
Thank you, thank you, sir. My question is whether are you routinely doing surgery for the pseudo holes?
No,
Pseudo
not
holes,
at all.
or is there any apart from the common indications for the metamorphosis or diminution of vision, is there any other indication for doing the pseudo
Not
holes?
at all. I hesitate to do surgery unless I told you patient has to beg for surgery.
Patient is having good vision. Sometimes
Yeah,
you
never,
have to
never.
operate on 6-9 parts vision also. To
You
get
see,
back.
I don't mind operating 6-9 as long
Yes.
as patient is demanding. Patient has to be symptomatic, because I will enter inside vitreous cavity only because I don't treat anatomy. You have to treat function actually. Anatomy, though, it's a curiosity. It's more of a curiosity. 6-9, I have gone inside, but patient is disturbing metamorphosis because of either occupational reason, or he is a microscopist, or then it's okay. But otherwise, as a routine, 6-9, asymptomatic, no.
Even in some of our
And
cases,
people have burned their fingers.
yes.
I'm telling you, people have burned their fingers. You start with 6-9, you give them 6-36. So that is not done.
Sometimes I have seen, sir, that if the ERM is very thick, sometimes we are just pulling the ERM with the help of cutter. Sometimes you may create the break in the periphery. So you have to check all the vitreous base.
Yeah. So no vitreous
Rule
surgery
out
is,
any-
no
yes.
vitreous surgery is complete without checking the periphery. That is, I missed that, but you have reminded.
Yes.
That's a good
Thank you,
point.
sir.
Yeah.